Hello, everyone, and welcome to Voice Like a Lion podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Pemberton, and today I'm going to be learning right along with you who this man is and how he is helping people. Today, I have the great opportunity to interview Dane Johnson. So, Dane, tell me and everyone listening, what is it that you do and how do you help others?
Stephen, thanks for having me on, and shout out to Jake who connected us a little
Yes.
while ago, and here to put that good energy forward. And yeah, I'm the founder and CEO of Crohn's Colitis Lifestyle. So we help people reverse symptoms of Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or other forms of IBD. And I got into this because I myself nearly died of ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed with both back in 2014. I was diagnosed at 22, 23 years old. First symptoms at 19 years old. I'm 37 now. And
Well,
I lost 60 pounds of weight. I couldn't walk. I couldn't eat food. I was going to the bathroom 25 bloody bowel movements a day. Doctors told me there was nothing I could do about it. Food didn't matter. I'd have it for the rest of my life. I was going to be on biologics for the rest of my life. And I would have to get my colon cut out of my body and poop into a bag for a certain amount of, maybe forever. And, maybe I'd do a second surgery to do a reversal J pouch if it worked, everything went well. So that was me in my early 20s going through that. And it created a conviction. And that's why I'm here today. And this is for anyone out there who's dealing with chronic disease, mental or physical. This is for people who want to learn how to get balance in your life with your health, with your mindset. This is for you if you're ready to make massive change in your life, and if you've been suffering and you want to take that experience in your own hands and become the CEO of your health and your destiny. I'm going to commit this time to creating a life-changing experience today. Let's get results.
wow, that's really good. I like that. I like how you did that. Also, when I sit there and I listen to your story, first and foremost, I'm sorry that you went through that. Obviously, it worked out to your benefit, but I'm sure it didn't feel that way in the moment. So, in the middle of going through what a lot of people would consider a physical battle, how did your mindset shift to where you saw it as an opportunity instead of just a tragedy?
Well, it was a tragedy, and it necessarily wasn't an opportunity. When you suffer,
Hmm.
right, Stephen? Stephen, let me put my headphones on too. Actually, you know what? Don't worry about it. When you suffer in life, you're not seeing an opportunity, and it only looks like an opportunity. Hindsight 2020.
Sure.
Suffering creates superpowers. Suffering creates wisdom. Suffering creates opportunity. You can't relate with people who've been chronically sick unless you've been chronically sick yourself. You can't do anything for those who are suffering unless you've been through it most of the time. And that's where the disconnection was with my doctors. That was the disconnection with even my naturopath doctors. That was the disconnection with my parents. That was the disconnection with my significant other. I was alone and isolated, and I didn't know anyone else who was going through what I was going through. And I know there's a lot of people listening right now who are going through something and no one can relate. And maybe you don't have Crohn's and colitis, but I can relate with the suffering. I can relate with being in a prison. I can relate with feeling like there's no way out. And I can relate with the feeling of being alone, walking a dark, foggy path, just hearing the voices of those you love, but who can't pull you out, who can't do anything. They write checks, they give you their time, they send you things, they send you books on diets, but they can't get you out. And I guess it's not an opportunity more than a conviction, Stephen. When I finally got out of that prison, I just looked around and said, you know, I wanted to build what I needed. When you suffer greatly, there's almost this feeling of you don't want other people to have to go through what you went through. And you're so angry when you get out because you're like, see, I told you I didn't have to get that surgery. I told you I didn't have to be on drugs for the rest of my life at 24 years old. So it's almost like this pride, conviction, and that's why I'm here and I've been driven by that. I'm not a guy in the ivory tower. I've been studying natural medicine, functional medicine, gut health, Crohn's colitis for about 14 years. I've dedicated my life to it. It's what I do full time. My team sees 120 Crohn's colitis clients around the world every single week. We see that many people. We've seen thousands around the world. This is what we do. We are pioneers. We are warriors of this, and we have Crohn's colitis ourselves. Me, my coaches, my team. We were diagnosed with the same experience. I just got off a team call where 3 out of the 4 people on the call were diagnosed with Crohn's colitis, an incurable disease. One had a surgery 30 years ago. One had bleeding in stool since he was 14, got rid of it 3 years ago, working with me. And these are just team members now on a mission. And so that's what suffering is. Suffering is opportunity.
That's good.
Write that down, everybody. Suffering is opportunity.
Suffering is opportunity. I actually just had a conversation with a gentleman not too long ago, and he went to prison for some stuff. He came out of prison. He was $20 million in debt, and he didn't know what to do. Like, he felt as if his life was over. Mm-hmm. But the suffering is what sets you up for inevitably your success. Now, success is different person to person. Yep. But it sounds like your success outside of any kind of monetary gain has been the lives that you've changed, the thousands of people you've touched, the people who work not only with you in the client standpoint, but also work for you. You've been able to change so many lives. So on your journey of going through this, what was it that shifted? Because it sounds like if you're working with people who we should trust, right? So the medical people, the doctors, your pharmaceutical agencies, all these different things, and they couldn't help you. What did you discover that actually did help you?
Well, what I discovered is that I was the CEO of my health, that I was the answer, and that there was no answer outside of myself. And there are tools outside of yourself that you need and you want to use. But if you are not in the right mental, spiritual state, if you don't have a conviction, if you are not making healing or health your number one priority, you're not going to manifest it. It's the same thing with getting rich. It's the same thing with falling in love and getting married and being a great father or a great mother. It's the same thing of getting in the best shape of your life. It has to be a priority. You're not going to meet someone who looks like a Greek god who doesn't make it their number one value, their mission. They wake up, they eat, they act, they do based on that goal. You're not going to meet a multi-millionaire who doesn't wake up and act, do, see, feel, and create based on that goal. What your priorities are is what you get. See, you could want something, it doesn't mean it's your priority. You can want something, it doesn't mean it's a value of yours. Integrity is action. It is not just what you think, it is what you do. You can say I'm not an angry person, but if you keep acting angry, you are eventually an angry person, sir. You can say you're not a lazy person, but if you keep sleeping in till 8, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., it could be said that you're a bit lazy. You could say that you're disciplined, but if you can't turn off that TV, put away the junk food, and go to bed so you can wake up at 5 a.m. and get after your goals, I don't know, right? You are not what you think you are what you do. And the same thing could be said of someone who thinks I am too lazy, because a lot of times we self-sabotage in our mind. I'm not good enough. I'm too lazy. I'm not worth being wealthy. I'm not worth being healthy. I'm not worth dating. And we just think it. And because we feel that way, we believe we are that way. It's called metacognition. There's a difference between what you feel and what you are. I am versus I feel. So I like to say I'm feeling angry, not I am angry. You get it? So right now, if you're feeling a certain way, I want you to say out loud with me, I'm feeling a certain way, but that does not define me. I'm feeling lazy. I'm feeling broke. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling out of shape. I'm not feeling attractive, but that does not mean I am unattractive. I am broke. I am lazy. I am low energy. It's like a symptom. A symptom does not define you. So that was one of the big things I realized, is because I realized because I had a big moment where I noticed that my power, my energy, my thoughts, my actions could change my symptoms. How could I go from 20 bowel movements in one day down to 10 in a week, 2-3 weeks later? And then I get under a lot of stress and the bowel movements go up. Or I eat some bad food and it changes my gut health. Or I get a bunch of acne or arthritic pain or loose stool or low energy. I don't sleep well, or I wake up in the middle of the night 100 times. All of it can change. So you have to start with understanding, what is conviction? We know these words, but do you feel these words? Do you identify with these words? Are you convicted in your goals? Conviction is to act. Ambition is also to act, even in courage is to act in the face of suffering, in the face of failure. If you're not feeling uncomfortable, you're probably not doing it right.
It's true.
What are you going to choose? And it started, and the crazy thing is, Stephen, when I was chronically sick for 4 years. I didn't get results quickly. I spent $30,000 the first year and I didn't get any results. I worked on paleo diet and tried some carnivore. I did 100 bananas, fruitarian. I did fasting. I only ate, carrot soup for 4 days in a row when listening to all these experts. The missing link was I hadn't been convicted yet and decided that I was going to heal. A lot of us are waiting for someone else to heal us. I'm going to sign up for this program. They're going to heal me. I'm going to sign up for this doctor. He's going to heal me. I'm going to take this medication. It's going to heal me. You've got to be convicted that I am going to heal. Now what's going to help me get there? And if it doesn't work perfectly, I'm going to pivot. If it doesn't work perfectly, I'm going to pivot. What you might be missing listening to me right now is it's the exact same recipe with getting rich. It's the exact same recipe with getting in shape. It's the exact same recipe of falling in love and meeting that girl of your dreams or the man of your dreams. You have conviction. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work out because you know where you're going. You're going north. And every single experience is just learning. Success is not straight, okay? It is linear. And through that linear, it is a discomfort. It is a form of suffering to change directions. Oh, I did all this. I thought it was going to work, but I have to change things because it's not working the way I wanted to. You look at anyone successful, it's left, right, up, down, north, south, northeast, northwest, up, and boom. But then they take another mountain. They take another hill. I heard The Rock saying this the other day, 51 years old, still killing it. Said, what do you want from Hill right now? What do you want, Rock? What do you want? He goes, I want another hill. I want another hill. I don't want just to sit in my Hawaii house counting my millions. I want another hill. That is what we are born and bred to do, to create, to experience, to go on a journey. Get curious. Suffering's a part of life. Negativity and discomfort's a part of it. You can't feel joy if you do not feel suffering. You cannot feel great if you don't know the feeling of bad. If you're going through a hard time, man, you are going to feel so good when you get there. But it starts in choice. What's your choice? If I am strengthening you mentally right now, if you are feeling this energy through this podcast, if you are feeling that conviction, you are now tapping into what is possible. It is a feeling. It is not identity. If you are feeling more energetic, if you are feeling more clarity, if you are feeling more conviction by listening to this call, you are realizing the paradigm. You are realizing that is those feelings are just a fog. They're an illusion. They're a fugazi. Our feelings and what is truth and what is reality is constantly changing based on what you are feeding your brain, what energy and frequencies you are allowing into your body, where you put your time. So if I am shifting you right now, then let that be a new truth for you, that it is not even real and it can be shifted that quickly through space and time, through a podcast that you're listening to as a recording.
Yeah.
That is recorded energy and vibration that you can press play and get a dose of it.
That's
so
right.
What are you dosing every day? You just living on weed and alcohol and processed food and seed oils? What are you dosing? I know what I'm dosing. I'm dosing success. I'm dosing positivity. I'm dosing dreams, manifestation, law of attraction. What are you dosing? We know the name of this podcast. I'm not going to give it to you light. Fighting an incurable disease and fighting for my life turned me into a lion. A powerful, strong person who understood pain, understood suffering, and stood up. And then got hit down and stood up again. Hard things make you stronger. Iron sharpens iron. You want to do good things. You want great things. They call it 5%, the top 5 for a reason. You want to be a 1%er? It's called 1% for a reason. If it was easy, everyone would do it. If there wasn't suffering, everyone would do it. If making $1 million was right in front of you, everyone would just go grab it. What are you feeding yourself? Of course it's hard. Now, if you don't have a community, if you don't have mentorship, if you don't have even a coach, if you are not connected with other people who are like-minded going the same way as you, it's going to be difficult. You've got to surround yourself with that positivity. I paid $6,000 the other day just to be surrounded by CEOs. Hey, they're not going to heal me. They're not going to change my life. It's like, hey, if you just want to network with our CEOs, it's $6,000 admission. Done. Why? I just want to be surrounded with those top 1%ers. There's programs out there that cost $50,000 just to be around people. Because money is not the most valuable currency. Energy is, and time is. Time and energy are worth a lot more than money. You'll realize it as you grow. There are 3 things you can give in this life as a form of currency: time, energy, and money. You want to manifest your dreams, you need all 3. You don't have any money, you better be willing to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy. You got a lot of money, but you're not spending time and energy, you're probably not going to do that well, because you're going to keep putting in everyone else. As I said, me and my family spent $30,000 trying to help me with Crohn's and colitis, and I was actually more sick after the year than when I started, because I kept trying to pay for health. Here you go, doctor, you know everything. Give me the right supplement. Here you go, doctor. They couldn't get my mind right to say, hey, you're going to eat this way. You're going to stop eating gluten. You're going to stop with the processed foods. You're going to put down the alcohol and the beer. Put down the weed. You're going to put down all that stuff, and you're going to focus. You're going to journal every day. You're going to meditate every day. You're going to do prayer and purpose and thank God every day, because you need positive vibration. Money can't give you positive vibration. Money can't make you accept what I'm giving you right now. That's not money. Money can't do it. That's why I say money is the weakest currency of them all. You don't have that resource money. You got to be resourceful with your time and energy. And you should be listening to this type of stuff every day. When I was housebound for a year, I had to relearn how to walk. I couldn't eat food. I weighed 122 pounds, 6'2". I'm 190 right now, 6'2". I can probably bench 285. At my max, 320. I'm not weak. I'm strong, and I couldn't walk. I had to start with walking to a stop sign. I had to start with maybe just 600 calories a day, liquid meals. I had to shit my pants over 100 times and wake up and be okay with it and keep moving forward and say, she's lucky to have me. This mindset. I had to be able to say, yes, victory, I just walked half a mile and I'm okay. Yes, victory, I'm 133 pounds. Yes, victory, I can move up some stairs. Yes, victory, I don't need a cane anymore. Yes, victory, I'm down to 5 milligrams of prednisone. I'm not stuck on 35 anymore. Yes, victory, I just got off methotrexate. Yes, victory, I just got off Entyvio biologics. That was my dream. That's my goal. You can have your own. It's your life. It's your white canvas. So you've got to realize healing starts in the mind. It's all in energy. You've got truth and reality is a perspective. It's all what you make of it. And how do you want to change it? You have to listen and change the vibration every day. The first thing you do when you wake up is you put positive energy into your body. Everyone keeps talking about what's your morning routine. This is it. Here's the wild answer. Wake up and get around positive energy. That's it. If meditation does it for you, if yoga does it for you, if breath work does it for you, if a podcast does it for you, if a cup of joe looking at the sunrise does it for you, if putting if earthing and putting your feet in the ground and hanging out with your plants does it for you, whatever. Wake up, get positive, get clear, and get excited for the day. That's how you need to start. Okay, some people just naturally have it. Alex Ramosi, I open my eyes and I start working. Great, Alex. Okay, you're a one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He is a one of a kind. He's 30 and some change worth 100 million, right? Not a lot of us can do that. A lot of us need to feel good, and we have to deal with the negativity in our life and our mind and the trauma of our past. And we have to work on this idea that we are worth it. We are not meant to be sick. That we can deserve and compete in this great world we have, especially in the Western world. We can compete and create wealth or create freedom or create opportunity and create families. It's on our back. It's really still us. Forget what the government's doing. What are you doing? There's still so much. So that's what it did, is it gave me conviction. It gave me conviction that when I finally got out of that prison after years of suffering, I looked back and I said, I want to build exactly what I needed when I was depressed, lost, and hopeless. Now the difference is what I built, you've got to change your mindset before you come in. No matter who you listen to, if you're someone with IBD, IBS, some of those problems, and you're ever looking at me, you got to come in with this mindset. Don't come to me if you don't have this mindset yet. I'm ready to heal, and I'm ready to try, even if things don't go perfect. I'm going to put in my effort. I'm going to learn. I'm going to be coachable, and I'm going to get trained on how to build my unique custom plan. We call that shield. Build my unique shield, and I'm ready. I'm ready to be trained. I'm coachable. I'm open-minded. Then I'm going to do everything in my power to get you massive success. But you got to be that right person. You come in and you go, I'm telling you, forget even my program. You go to anyone's program, you go to anybody, you go to Tony Robbins. If Tony Robbins charges $1 million to work with him, that's because he wants someone to be serious more than he needs the million. He's not going to charge $100,000. Tony Robbins will get more success with someone who pays him $1 million than someone he does it for free.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take it seriously. You have to be coachable. You have to be the right person. A master is only good as the person he is coaching, is as willing. How can I say this? A coach is only as good as how coachable the client is.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have one client who says, man, Dane changed my life, or Coach Lori changed my life, or Coach Armand, or Coach Taryn, all my coaches around the world changed my life. And another client go, oh, I don't know. And I'm going to keep looking at, that and say, okay, what could we do different? But are you coachable? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Or are you just depressed eating Cheetos, watching Netflix, waiting for a magic supplement to kick in? So, let this be that position. And another thing that I made a mistake on is I would feel this way, but I run out of gas. What you're going to do is you're going to get excited about this, and you're going to get clarity, and you're going to get some conviction inside of you. And then that energy is going to run out of gas. And then all those negative thoughts are going to come back. It is like filling up your tank. You have to continue to feed yourself the positivity and be around it. And then you will break through. It's a matter of time. That energy, that force will break through bowel symptoms, weight issues, bipolar, depression, all of it. You just have to be persistent on it. It's the same thing as stretching. If you go to yoga and you stretch, you'll feel more flexible after the end of that yoga, especially hot yoga, right? I'm dying in hot yoga, but I'm flexible after that, right? But if I don't do it again for 3 or 4 or 5 days, I go back to where I was. You're not going to continue to be able to touch your toes or get your full hand on the ground without the persistence of continuing to do it. And the same thing with weightlifting. If you don't persistently do it, but if you only do one type of exercise, you're only going to get so much results. If you look at a guy who's really good at building his chest, shoulders, getting his abs, he's going to do 4 different types of ab exercises. And that's going to continue to critique. And he's going to seek pain, and he's going to seek failure. And his ability to suffer is going to give him a better body than you. But on the other side of that, with functional medicine, if you push yourself to suffer too much, it'll actually make your symptoms worse. You have to know your body. A lot of times in our world, we have this G.I. Joe mentality of like kill yourself for success. And that might have what's part of what got me sick. And maybe if you're listening and you resonate, you got to be careful with that. You got to be strategic. There's a way to get ROI in the gym, in career, with family, without killing yourself. I think we've gone a little too far in that regard. And I don't think it's worth having the best, biggest bank account or whatever your goal is in the short term to destroy your future. If people are dying at 48 years old of a heart attack and they look like a Greek god at 25, I don't know if that's worth it. Or if you're already, completely burnt out in life at 38 years old, but you've got, 50 million, I don't know if that's worth it. Remember, money's not worth as much as time is energy. And you can't buy the feeling of happiness. You can't buy the feeling of balance and love and safety in your own body. In a healthy marriage and being a great parent, which are some of the best things that you can do in this life while we're here, while we're living. Ego, at a certain point it's good, and then it turns into ego and pride. All things are balance. So where is your balance? And maybe you should write that down. If you're looking for a place to get in balance, I've really liked this program called Lifebook. John Butcher, this guy created this thing called Lifebook, where he asks you all these really in-depth questions. And you can pay like $120 and he'll send you this journal. And you just ask you these questions where you just keep writing it out your perfect life. Like the money you want to make, the career you want to make, the fitness you want to make, the kind of marriage you want to have, if you want to have kids or not, and where you want to live, and your perfect dream house. And it's just like you create and create. And he said something that was really smart that I still hold on to. He says, I'm not the richest man I know. I'm not the best looking man I know. I'm not in the best shape of anyone I know. And I'm not the coolest man I know, but I am the happiest man I know. And I thought that was so brilliant. There's only so much value in one form, in one part of life in excess, right? It's about balancing of all of them. You can be worth $1 billion and be depressed and out of shape, and I know a few. You can have the best looking body, but be alone and feel like no one loves you and feel like you can't be in a successful relationship. There's a lot of mirages and masks going on in life. So This is all things I've learned through suffering and trying, failing in relationships, failing in health and nearly dying, and being from a middle class family and being in debt out of college, and always being convicted to be a person who wanted to be financially free. I knew I wanted to be financially free at 13. I got my first job for $5 an hour at 14 years old. Had my dad sign a waiver so I could go work. And so I think that's one thing that's helped me now is the success I've had is I always had a conviction. I always had a idea of where I wanted to go. So my actions always pointed there, from $5 an hour at 14 to 16 and jobs at 18 and running a company in college and, paying off my student loans and, and taking my first job and living on my dad's pull-out couch so I could pay off my debt and working in Washington, D.C. with a job I hated, but I needed to do it for a little bit. You don't always get to do things you love. Not if you want to be a 1%er, not if you want to be a top 5%er. But define that. That's where I think there's also genius. I know people who are much happier with $100,000 in their bank account than people with 10 million.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real, guys. I always said this, Stephen, I always said that I wanted to be an entrepreneur at a young age, right? If I didn't go and become successful in our world the way I want to work for myself. I don't want to have to always sell time for money. I want to be more financially free, those type of things. Then I was just going to go be a bartender on an island somewhere. It was going to be no middle ground for me. I was just either going to be a scuba instructor or a bartender on an island and grow the hair out and wear flip-flops everywhere and make $35,000 a year, $25,000 a year. And I was like, that's a great life. Or I'm going to be very successful. I say that to this day. I'm like, for me, the middle ground's what's not fun. I don't like the middle. Yeah. The middle is, to me, no thank you. I'm going left or I'm going right. Because even today, I'll tell you right now, if you want to look at it, like I run my own company, our company's been successful. We've helped people around the world. I get paid to help save people's lives. That's like a dream job for me. I work for myself. I've got plenty of employees. We work globally and we're really good at what we do. In my opinion, we're the best in the world at what we do. It's still some days where I'm like, the guy who went left, it still looks good sometimes. I'm like, it's like, dude, Tuesday, what are you doing? Scuba, surf, chill with the boys, hang with my girl, like have a good time with people who are present with me. Rich people are never present. They're always in their head about things. They're always thinking. They're always climbing hills. They're always busy. Mm-hmm. You live on an island. No one's busy. Everyone's chilling. Everyone can be present with each other. You know how hard it is to take a very successful person and just book like a time to go to a pool. It's like a month out. It's like, oh yeah, we have to put it on the calendar a month out. I got 2 hours of R&R, Yep. And so remember that life is interesting. Sadhguru said this, as an Eastern philosopher. I really enjoyed him. He said, sometimes failure is exactly what you need. He said, because if you fail, what do you have to do? You just got to be here. I've failed. What are you doing? Well, I'm sitting on a beach now because I failed. Where success sometimes actually creates the problem.
Yeah.
The problems. And when you become successful and you keep winning and you don't fail, what happens is you can't turn it off. Mm-hmm. You can't turn it off. You're on vacation, you can't turn it off. It's 9 o'clock at night, you can't turn it off. It's 5:50 in the morning, you're trying to do some meditation and chill with the kids, you can't turn it off. Because you just got to keep winning, right?
Yep.
So in the conviction of what you're doing, I want you also to rebalance what your target is. Realize that success is absolutely 100% subjective, and don't let anyone else tell you different. People want to enroll you on their version of success. Forget their version. What's yours? Defend your version of success ferociously. I'll say it again. Defend your version of success ferociously. Do not be so easily swayed. And everyone wants to sway you because the more people who are enrolled in their version of success, the better they feel about where they're going and how hard they're working. Right? If I'm a motivational speaker and I have all these versions of success and I get 1,000, 10,000 people to follow me on it, it's like a religion. It continues to teach me that I'm right. I'm right. See, they're doing it too. I'm right. They agree with me. The more people agree with me, I'm right. When deep down, they might be suffering. Just finding any form of energy of the reason I'm right. I'm right. So defend that version. It is completely subjective. And understand your currencies and how much you want to use of each and why. and understand your values and integrity. I would highly recommend Tony Robbins, his books from the late 80s and 90s on this. They were game changing for me. Unlimited Power and Unleash the Giant Within are my two favorites. I was reading those it was just like 7-8 years ago. Those were huge page turners, and they were so old. It was genius. Yeah. So I'd work out, I'd go in the sauna. So people didn't know I was on a cane. I had a cane months prior, back in the gym. I'm working out. I'm getting back up to 180 pounds, 185 pounds. I'm being able to bench 225 10 times. I'm doing 30 pull-ups. I can go run 5 miles. I'm not worried about a bathroom. Get my life back. People don't even realize what I'm going through. And I'm in the sauna reading a book. Everyone's in there chatting about the game. I'm in there reading Tony. Right? I'm still meditating. I'm still toning. So all that superpowers, Steve and I built in that suffering, it stayed with me when I got out of the cage. And guess what? Everyone, this is going to be one of the biggest points of this podcast today. What it takes to heal yourself of a chronic disease and what it takes to be the best version of yourself are the exact same thing. Like, Steven, what would you say, 1 out of 10? What version of yourself are you? 10's like, I'm the best version of myself. What do you think? What would you give yourself if you had to just go ahead and reflect? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I would say, honestly, compared to the version that I've constructed in my head, I would say I'm probably like a 7. Not there yet, but I'm on the way.
So, you know what I just learned about Steven? He's an ambitious man. He's ambitious. He gets conviction. He gets excited. And he's like, I got room. Most of us should feel like we're a 7 because it gives us room. And room's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can do better with my eating habits. I can do better with when I wake up. I can do better with what I'm reading. I can do better with my fitness. I can do better with my love life. Right? And that gets you excited, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Steven's excited right now. Anyone who can't see him, he's smiling ear to ear. Yeah. He's ready to go. You ready to go, Steven?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, when I've been listening to you talk this whole time, I'm just like, okay, I've done some of the same stuff. I know Tony Robbins. I've read some of these books. It's like, but there's more I could do. Like, that's why I said 7. It's like, there's more in me. I haven't hit my full potential yet. I know it. Like, I haven't hit it yet, but I'm excited to get there. And I don't think I'll ever really arrive, but I should always pursue.
So that's the thing. When people say life's about the journey, not the end, that's what they mean. Who can arrive? Let's go back to what The Rock just said the other day that inspired me. He said, I want another hill. The man's already a billionaire. He already looks like freaking Tarzan at 50-something years old, right? What? You stop trying to arrive and start enjoying the process of seeking.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. There's anyone who arrive. If anyone feels like they've done it all and just arrived, they start to die. If you look at a rich man who feels like he's done it and he's made it all and whatever, he gets fat, he gets slow, his love life starts to decrease, his ambition starts to increase, his testosterone might start decreasing. Same with a female. We as humans are creators. How did we get here? We used to just have stones and sticks. Now we're flying in spaceships. We are creators. That's who we are. But create what's good. Create win-wins for people. Don't take advantage of people. Create win-wins. Come with integrity. You can get wealthy and take care of people. It can be done. Don't think that people are wealthy are just bad people. Okay? There's a lot of people, a lot of us out here who will not take a dime if it's not in integrity. Okay, especially when you don't need money. That's one of the benefits of money. When you don't need it, you don't have to sell your soul. Yeah. So that's why I don't have this callous feeling of wealthy people. I look at their character and how they talk and what their values are. Is money their God? That's a problem. Right? So, when you look at these things, realize that none of us really even want to arrive. We always want another hill. I want another hill. Take a hill. And we want to get better, but it requires suffering. It's a part of the recipe. When you go to a gym, you are seeking suffering. Hey, what are you going to do? I'm going to go to the gym and make it burn so much that I can no longer do it. And I'm going to do it for about 24 sets. That's how many sets Arnold Schwarzenegger would do. 24. Maybe some days 16, maybe some days 24, right? So I think it was 24 or 28, right around there. So you're seeking failure. You're seeking pain. If you're coming in here and I'm saying things to you and it's uncomfortable, that is a form of suffering, right? If you know it's time to put down the alcohol, you know it's time to wake up early. Oh, does it sound like right when you're like, man, yes, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. the next day, right when your head hits the pillow and it's 11 o'clock and you're like, man, I only got 6 hours and I don't have to wake up, but I'm going to make myself wake up. You're suffering mentally right there. You're suffering knowing I'm not going to get all that sleep and I don't even have to wake up, but I'm going to make myself. That is what it is to succeed, but you have to fall in love with the journey and let go of the trauma that I am in pain. Why do I have to be in pain? I don't like pain. I don't like uncomfort. Take breaths, meditate on it, realize it's just an experience and you always have tomorrow to do it better. And you're still good enough if you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Realize that you're still good enough if you don't do it. You're still a quality person. You're still worth a million things. Remember, we can go left. The guy who went left doesn't need to wake up at 5 a.m. He's chilling. He's got a little Matthew McConaughey in him. He's got a little bit of the surfer dude in him. He's a little chiller. And in some ways, I still look at that guy and I'm like, man, you're doing it right in a lot of ways. Life doesn't have to be so complicated. But get out of the middle. Get the hell out the middle. And get some conviction. Okay? Another thing I want to tell you right now. The answer is not left. And the answer is also not right. The answer is the conviction to go left or the conviction to go right. That is where you will find truth. Think about it. Listen on it. Put it in your spirit. It'll make sense to you. Conviction is the answer. Stop debating and get convicted. And that's what happened. When I was chronically sick, conviction happened from suffering. The first year or two, mom, fix it. Dad, fix it. Doctor, GI specialist, primary care physician, fix it, fix it, fix it. Drug, fine, whatever you say. Steroids, fine. Okay, you want me to go gluten-free? Fine, I'll be gluten-free. This sucks. Didn't work. Okay, Dane, you're about to go on disability. You can't even work. You probably need to move back with your mom. You can't continue to live in California by yourself and keep paying rent. You're running out of money. You look like you're dying. Eventually you are dying. What are you gonna do about it? See, suffering either swallows you up or it turns you into Superman. That's it. It swallows you up or turns you into Superman. And isn't it ironic that every superhero we've grown up with and we've loved suffered greatly? Batman, 10 years old, parents shot in front of him, killed and murdered in front of them. Can you imagine that? Billionaire grows up to save the very city that killed his parents. Superman, his parents and everyone killed and blown up in front of him, where he was then shipped as an orphan to this place as an alien, always to be judged, never to be accepted, but dedicates his life to saving those who never accept him. The heroes are those who suffer. We know it in our bones. We know it in our DNA that suffering is a part of greatness. So if you're convicted to go left, have a beautiful life and relax. If you're convicted to try to be a leader and a top 5% or top 1%, get ready because it's coming. And expect it and breathe on it and relax in it. Just like the suffering of stretching a stiff guy, stretching those hips out. Right? Oh, that's tough. Hold on, stay in that pose. Breathe through it, right? Because you cannot go around suffering. You cannot go around energy. You cannot go around experiences. You must go through them. You want to build that company, you must go through it. You cannot go around it. Here's an ironic part, Stephen. When I was 18 years old, my mom wanted to help me become an entrepreneur. So she helped me buy a company when I was 18. The company was dead and gone within 4 years. We bought it for $80,000. I paid back the $80,000 and then it went bankrupt.
Well,
maybe it's because I didn't suffer enough to actually build it. Crohn's Colitis Lifestyle, I have never taken $1. I've bootstrapped the entire thing. I've been doing it since 2015. It is now 2024, Q2 2024. And it's alive 10 years ago and thriving and growing every year because it is mine. I've earned it. I've gone through it and I've turned it into my passion, my mission. I know every part of it. You can't buy it.
Yeah.
You can't buy it, guys. That's the point. You can't be given it. If I give you your health back through what I call MPS, Magic Protocol Syndrome, you're going to ruin it. If I gave you, what does every wealthy person say about giving a person who doesn't understand money $10 million? They're going to lose it.
Yeah, they're going to lose it.
You don't know money. You don't know interest rates. You don't know the cost of things. You don't know depreciating assets. You're going to go buy a stupid car, buy a stupid house, not understand state tax, property tax, income tax, inflation, investing. You're gonna put it all on a Cardano, and you're gonna lose it. The market takes a 30%, 40% dip, and you're gonna sell it on the dip, and you're gonna buy when you shouldn't buy, and you're gonna sell when you shouldn't sell.
When you shouldn't sell. Yeah.
And that's it, because you don't know what you're doing. You haven't earned it. You haven't earned your stripes. Understanding of life and experience and training is the key. You don't want to be given it. That's why in the Shield program, we give you a coach who's there to train you, to empower you. Are you going to stand up and take that and run with it? People can only hold your hand so much. That's the thing. When I was suffering and failing all those years and watching my family go broke trying to help me, I wasn't ready. It wasn't the doctor's fault. They weren't Crohn's colitis specialists. They really didn't have the expertise and the resources I needed to heal. But beyond all that, I have to take responsibility that I wasn't ready. I wasn't accountable. Whose fault was it? It was mine. 10 years later, 12 years later, reflecting, it was my fault. Not that doctor who didn't specialize in Crohn's colitis. Not that doctor didn't know any better about nutrition. It was mine, because I wasn't accountable. I hadn't really taken on the responsibility for my health, because it wasn't my fault. Right? Biggest thing we make a mistake with. If it's not your fault in our society, then it's not your responsibility. Oh, it's not my fault. That means it's someone else's responsibility to fix it. Well, what am I supposed to do? Just go to school, do this 4-year degree, get your little diploma, and the world will take care of you. Wrong. It's all a fallacy. You got to own it. You got to own all of it. And we got to stop delegating out the most important things in our life. We can't delegate out understanding money. We can't delegate understanding our health. We can't delegate our understanding of God. We can't delegate our understanding of what it is to be a good father or a good husband or have a strong family. We can't delegate out what we should be doing with our kids. We want to listen. We want to be coachable. We want to be open-minded. Okay? We want to communicate about it over and over again until we form an opinion, and then that's it. That's our life. And it needs to be respected by all. We all need to respect each other. No matter if this person goes left and that person goes right, or this person says blue and that person says red, doesn't matter. As long as it's conscious and it's thought out and strategic, respect is the answer, and everyone just needs to be open-minded. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah. Man, this has been fantastic. Everything that you said is amazing. Everyone listening, I hope that you're taking notes, because he has said just some things that can absolutely change your life if you're listening. But I also want to give you the opportunity, Dane, to just, for the people that are engaged, they want more of what you got going on. How can they engage with you?
So if you want to just get connected and hear more about from me or any of that, you can go to my Instagram, Dane Johnson 1, or YouTube channel. Just type in Dane Johnson on YouTube. You'll see our channel. Give us a follow, subscribe. If you're dealing with gut health issues and you need help and you're ready to heal, then reach out to us, Crohn'sColitisLifestyle.com. Find us on Instagram, YouTube, or email us, whatever it is. Just get connected with us. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get you on a complimentary strategy session with one of our IBD support specialists, someone who's already healed IBD, the deep dive on your case, hear where you are, really understand what's needed. We want to put our best foot forward for you and help to start building that game plan. Because if we're going to work together, we need trust, we need integrity. We have those 2 things in our recipe, then the chance of success is going to go up 10x. So last thing is just surround yourself. If I can be that positive force for you, I'm excited. I feel blessed. I feel grateful. But just keep around that positivity, and you'll continue to take the right actions, and you'll learn from your experiences. Healing, success is not linear, and just be consistent. Move forward with positive energy, and you will get what you want.
That's great. And for those of you guys listening, I'm just going to end it right there, because it was just amazing. So thank you guys again for watching. Dane, thank you again for joining me here. For everyone watching, thank you again for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much, Stephen. God bless.